Unless you've been totally on a desert island, you have no doubt at least heard about Warner Brothers strangely not releasing a finished film, Coyote vs. Acme. This comes hot off the heels of them shelving another high profile film, Batgirl, among others. In this video, I want to break down the entire timeline of events, plus some very recent news that might just be promising. The story of Coyote V. Acme started life all the way back in 1990 with a New Yorker article by humorist Ian Fraser. The premise, of course, satirizes the fact that in his schemes to catch Roadrunner, Coyote's Acme brand traps always fail, and these fails often result in injury to Coyote. 6 years after the article, Warner Brothers released Space Jam, which saw Michael Jordan team up with the Looney Tunes. And it was a smash hit for Warner Brothers. Working on an $80 million budget, the movie raked in over $250, and this doesn't include soundtrack sales and merchandise. Bottom line is, this proved to Warner Brothers that the Toons brand was still very much alive and well. Even before Space Jam, the colorful cast of cartoons found success on the small screen with Tiny Toon Adventures. Ratings were high, but also they raked in the sales from toys, video games, which surprisingly there was a lot of, and even a McDonald's tie-in. Also, a side note, comment below if you had some of these toys. I know I definitely did. 2021 saw a sequel to Space Jam entitled Space Jam: A New Legacy, and it did not do well at all. This no doubt shook Warner Brothers' faith in the Looney Tunes brand, which I think will greatly tie into their decision later on. Flash forward to April 8th, 2022, and Warner Brothers merged with Discovery to form Warner's Discovery. So now HBO Max is just Max, and sadly, the once thriving streaming platform was now littered with shows most people didn't really want. And this will be fine, but it also meant that in order to save money, Max was dropping big shows off their streaming service. Also, animation fans noticed that Warner Brothers was quietly taking down a lot of their classic cartoons in an effort to further cut costs. November of 2023, Warner Brothers officially shelved Coyote vs. Acme in order to obtain a $30 million tax write-off. Coyote would be the third film in a row that Warner Brothers shelved, infamously a nearly finished Batgirl film, as I mentioned above, as well as Scoob Holiday Haunt. It seemed like there was a light at the end of the cartoon tunnel when public and professional backlash seemed to have forced Warner Brothers' hand to release the film. The best the studio was willing to do was to shop it around. In fact, this was the case with another animated project, Caped Crusader, a spiritual follow-up to the Emmy-winning Batman the Animated Series. And that was picked up by Amazon. Indeed, Amazon also bid on Coyote, as well as Netflix and Paramount. Yet, Warner's rejected all counter-offers. The director, Dave Green, made this statement saying, "For 3 years, I was lucky enough to make a movie about Wile E. Coyote, the most persistent, passionate, and resilient character of all time. I was surrounded by a brilliant team who poured their souls into this project for years. We were all determined to honor the legacy of these historic characters and actually get them right. Along the ride, we were embraced by test audiences who rewarded us with fantastic scores. I am beyond proud of the final product and beyond devastated by WB's decision. But in the spirit of Wile E. Coyote, resistance and persistence wins the day." In February of 2024, star of Coyote v. Acme, Will Forte, made this statement saying, "When I first heard that our movie was getting deleted, I hadn't seen it yet. So I was thinking what everyone else must have been thinking. This must be a hunk of junk. But then I saw it, and it's incredible." March 2024, Coyote v. Acme screenwriter Sammy Birch stated that not all hope is lost and that there are still ongoing conversations happening. So where does this leave us? Well, sadly, animation fans are left in this weird limbo. Personally, I am baffled by how a studio so well known for its stellar animation is suddenly turning its back on them. It's especially ironic with them really rolling out this Warner Brothers 100-year celebration in its marketing and branding. Sure, this is a business, and you need to make hard choices. However, the move to scrap an entire film feels cruel to the people who worked hard on making them. Sure, everybody got paid, but to spend so much time on a project and not be allowed to show it to the public is pretty sadistic, in my opinion. But now I want to know what y'all think. Do you think that this movie's ever going to come out? Is it actually going to be good? Do you think Warner Brothers was in the right or the wrong? Chime in because I definitely want to know what y'all think. There is also a really excellent video about breaking down the economics of the tax write off. I thought it was interesting, but I will link that in the description so you can check it out. And as always, I'm going to link my sources as well because I always try to be really transparent with where I get my information from. And thank you so much for checking out this video, and I will see you in the next one.